congratulations, my friend. Go ahead and give yourself a little pat on the back. You just clicked on the best video on YouTube to find out whether or not it's worth it to spend $100 or so on some replacement headlights for your 2G Eclipse. Good call. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, and welcome to another video. Snapshot in time, the 2G Eclipses are anywhere from 22 to 26 or so years old, and the headlights can start to look pretty rough on them. You get two options. You can have somebody come out and polish it, or maybe three options. You can polish them yourself. Someone else can come and polish them up, or you can get some new replacement ones. And the purpose of this video today is to just find out if the replacement ones are worth it, or if you're better off keeping the OEM ones and just polishing them up. Now, there is a slight possibility that by the time you see this video, these headlights will no longer be available, but I got these off of Amazon recently. Link in the description. Eagle Eyes is the name on the box. Not sure if that is a legit brand or if that's just something they're running over at Amazon, but in any event, we're gonna put those on the car today. I'm pretty sure I'm rocking OEM headlights, not 100%. We'll probably find out when I take them out. If I don't know, somebody will probably say it in the comments, so keep an eye on that. But the whole goal of today's video is to get these in and to see if they're worth the money I spent on them. So let's head over to the garage and get these bad boys installed. Okay, so you can maybe do this with the front bumper on, but to make it easy, I'm gonna take it off. I'm not going to go over how to do it in this video. I'm gonna make a separate video. So if you don't know how to do it and you wanna learn, just go on my channel and search how to remove 2G Eclipse front bumper, and you should find it. I should have said this earlier, but if you're following this step by step, make sure you disconnect your battery. Okay, with the front bumper off, I'll show you how easy it is to get these lights off. And when I say how easy it is, it's really kind of not that easy, because Mitsubishi in their infinite wisdom kind of buries another bolt back here. If you know about the bumper, getting the bumper off is hard enough, but getting that third bolt on the headlight off is pretty tough too, even with the right extension. So to make it easy, I'll take the crash bar off as well, which is 4 12mm bolts. Your 4 12mm bolts for the crash bar are here, here, and here, and obviously there's corresponding holes on the bar itself. A little tricky to get them off with the fog lights on. You might have to remove those as well. Now, there are 4 10mm bolts holding each headlight in. One of them is pretty obvious here. There's one buried back here in the body. It would go in this hole right here. There is another one just below that, and then the one they make super hard underneath the crash bar right here, 4. And of course, you could always reference your new headlights to find out where the bolts are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, once you've got all your bolts out, there's just 2 wires to disconnect, one on the bottom and then your turn signal on the side, and the headlight will slide right out. There are the old headlights. The passenger one has this Stanley number 702 on it, maybe some kind of number here. I'm not sure if that makes it legit or not. Couple numbers down at the bottom. And then on the driver's side, I assume this is a replacement. I wouldn't be surprised if the front driver's light went bye-bye when this thing had a little fender bender up front. So here is that light. Probably not a whole lot to identify it. Okay, this will be the world's worst comparison, but here are the old stock ones and the new Eagle Eyes. Obviously, you can see a little bit more shine on the new ones. These old ones are looking pretty hazy, but size-wise, everything, they look the same. Obviously, it might look a little different when we get them in there. The backs have black covers instead of gray. The new ones do still have the breathers on the back and everything like the old ones, so I'm gonna stick these in, see how they look. Real quick, these are the breathers on the ones that came out, and then the breathers on the new ones have a little bit more of a bend in them. For all it's worth, I don't think it matters. And then the new ones obviously have little tabs that you gotta remove for parts where you're putting lights in, but the lights are already in there. Just the factory turn signal lights are the only ones that you have to plug in, and then that bottom plug. The new headlights do come with their own set of 10mm bolts. Only 2 of them though per headlight, it looks like. So you'll still have to use a couple of the old ones. Okay, the passenger side is in. The fitment is great on the outside. Bolting it up wasn't super easy. I had to shift the light and push on it quite a bit to get these holes to line up. But it is in there pretty good and tight. So one there, and then I put these 2 in down there. I don't know if you can see it. 1 and 2. And then I'm gonna leave the one down here out. You can see it doesn't quite line up. Let me try and zoom in for you. You can see it doesn't quite line up with the hole there. So even if you push down on the headlight, take that into consideration if you're contemplating these lights. To keep your sanity, you might not wanna run that bolt down there anyways going forward, because like I said earlier, bumper's gotta come off pretty much to get to it. We'll do a little unboxing of the driver's side one for you guys. So you can see they come wrapped in this like cellophane saran wrap or whatever. And then here are the 2 bolts that they come with. Funny, they must assume people are only gonna run 2 going forward. One more time, here is the driver's side light. I'll stuff it in quick and come back to you guys when it's on. The fitment on this side, the driver's side, was actually a little bit better than the passenger side. I did leave this bolt underneath here out, so you can kind of see it's a little bit off again, but these ones were a lot easier to get in than the other side. Test the lights really quick, make sure they're still working. On. Right. Left. Right. I think we're good. Also, in an attempt to preserve these lights, I am going to put the same sealant on them as I have on the paint. It's like a reapply every, couple washes or a few months, but this will help keep them fresh for a little bit longer than normal. Okay, I'm going to throw the bumper back on real quick, and then we'll get this thing outside and I'll give you my final thoughts on them. All right guys, let's talk about these fresh new headlights a little bit. I think when it comes down to these headlights, there's 3 things we have to judge them on. 1 is price, 2 is ease of install, and 3 is looks. I'm gonna go on a scale of 1 to 10 for each. For price, I think these are a 9. 100 to 110 bucks to get some brand new headlights for your Eclipse. That's a 9 on the value scale for me. The only thing that would make them a 10 is if they were like 50 to 75 bucks, but I think that's a little bit unrealistic in 2021. Next would be ease of install. I would call it, an 8 to a 9 again. Super easy to install. I mean, you got to take the bumper off if it's your first time. Everything's OEM, but odds are pretty good. You've probably only got 1 or 2 bolts in your headlights right now anyways, so it's a pretty easy install. So I don't know how you go wrong there either. And finally, looks. I'll kind of let them do the talking for themselves. I mean, they fit great. This car isn't perfect, I mean, the bumper's what, 20 some odd years old, so you might not have all the perfect lines, but for the price and for how easy they were to install, I think 10 out of 10 for looks. Real quick, here is a close-up on the fitment. It's pretty solid in my opinion. I think that will pretty much do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful as always. I appreciate you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'll catch you in the next one. Oddly enough, there weren't really any film flubs or anything to put in the end of this video.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
I was gonna let you tell the boys on YouTube about your new car, but apparently you're too cool to answer your phone. Okay, bye. F you.